Welcome, Spark. So what kind of Spark are you? Player? Creator? Or both? The stories yet to be told. The games to be made. Civilizations and societies to be formed. The universe is waiting for you to bring it to life. Now, how do we begin?
And we're live!
Yeah!
Alright! Welcome guys to a really special education stream. This is going to be kind of Conker focused, and I'm not even on shop. That's okay. I'm just like the disembodied voice talking over you guys.
Creation.
I can voice
yeah.
Creation
I'm new creation well. yeah, so just making sure people can hear us. It looks like our audio levels are good. Let us know if you can't. So we are going to show you a lot of Conker stuff. We're going to show you actually kind of all the steps we went to making the Conker teaser trailer. To start that off, Claude is going to actually show us the Conker champion. So Claude,
you guys ready for this?
You want to go ahead and go into the level?
This is probably my favorite champion so far.
I know. So Conker champion, guys. Oh
right.
my god, he looks amazing!
Check out that tail on it. This guy. Oh, we got the power-ups, the Logic Key power-ups.
That looks so much like Conker. Oh my god. So, we're starting out with this. We're going to actually get to real Conker. But this is, we're bringing you guys through, like, really, developer-wise, like, every step of the way we got to Conker. So, before we had Conker in our game, we had a goblin. We took a squirrel, attached it to its butt, and Conker was... like, this horrible Conker thing was sort of born.
It's surprising how many things we attach to butts on this project.
It's so easy. It's just so easy. It's hard not to attach things to butts, really.
Yeah, so, anyways, so Claude and Steve-O were using this to play around with sort of, like, mechanics for how to make a Conker champion. And instead of just using the goblin, they actually went the extra step and put a squirrel in its butt.
Yeah,
which I
so
thought was a
this
nice
is
touch.
like way before our Conker model and was in game and playable and stuff. So we wanted to get started on his mechanics prototyping. So we wanted something that like kind of matches proportions a little bit. So just figured the goblin's kind of close to his height and width and stuff. So we
I'm not sure we're on.
Oh.
No, I think we're on.
All right, cool.
Yeah, people in chat who can hear us, tell the other people to refresh their computers. Not their old computers, to refresh their browsers. That will bring it up for people. Twitch has been really crazy the past few days. So yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes you have to refresh your browser. So tell people in chat you have to refresh your browsers. So
we were messing around with the mechanics early on just to figure out what he could do, what was neat about it, and like we found some really fun stuff right away. We found right away that we could bring in his context-sensitive gameplay into the champion gameplay as well. So you can summon this temporary B button here, interact with it, and transform into like a stomping like Godzilla monster. Fire breathing, of course. You can't not have fire breathing if you have Godzilla.
Huh?
Are we actually not live? Maybe.
Let's see. Hold on.
I don't think it's live.
I don't think we're live.
That's cool. We got a nice little try run.
Justin fan. What the hell?
You just typed it in and it came up as Justin.
Justin fan? Who's Justin fan?
Oh, my Scott says we're live.
Huh. Maybe they can hear us, but they can't see us?
So can people hear and see us? Why when I typed in, why did it come up as Justin fan?
Twitch is down.
That's so weird. Twitch has been crazy the past few days. All right, we're gonna temporarily pause. Make sure people can see us, hear us. Okay. Cool. All right. We are live.
Now.
Yeah. Should we start over?
No. Well, I think people can hear and see us.
Yeah, now they can see us. That's pretty fun.
I think people could hear and see us for a while. I don't know how long, but.
Oh, there it is now.
Video is live. I see you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
The chat's not live.
Okay. Twitch has like had this horrible outage yesterday. You don't see me because I'm the disembodied voice, guys. Don't worry, I'm still in the room somewhere.
That's fine.
Yeah. So anyways, we started out with this weird goblin squirrel thing as a proxy.
Yeah, and it helped us get started on his mechanics. So we'll show off a little bit of what he can do. We just get a couple power-ups here. But basically, the way he's working out so far, and he'll be pretty much done soon. But as he fights guys, he has the ability to switch between 2 weapons. So I can switch between a melee weapon and a ranged weapon. So
and he drops logic cubes.
Yeah, he'll drop logic cube power-ups, which will be something else. So you'll see that later. This is our DPS guy. I'll explain him in a second too. And basically builds up his power meter to be able to summon one of his context-sensitive buttons, his signature context-sensitive abilities.
Yeah. So we're using context-sensitive abilities for his champion abilities, and so like just to like pause and go back for people who may not have joined at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we started out with like just to look at how Conker worked. This goblin with a squirrel up his butt, and Brad Reed, you saw it, and then
face is just on it now.
And you were like, "Oh my god, we need to show this.
Yeah.
We need to do something with this."
Yeah, we wanted to tease with this. I mean, the reason why we do this sort of thing is early on we have the Conker model, but the Conker model may not be ready to get in the game for Claude to use to start building the gameplay with. So in the meantime, he was just basically making a proxy asset. So he took the goblin, tinted him up, tinted his clothes, and then just jammed a squirrel up his butt to get the tail. And we were able to get the basic mechanics going before the actual Conker character model was like in our engine.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm talking about this is sort of step 1 of the teaser trailer, because like the idea of the teaser trailer actually came from Claude showing this up, Brad thinking it was the funniest thing ever, and saying, "Wouldn't it be amazing if we trolled the entire internet and said this was Conker?" We remixed it! Yeah! It's Conker, guys! No need to make custom assets. This is Conker. Yeah!
We're pretty much done like right away.
Yeah!
Saved us a lot of time.
So, like, that
The
was...
squirrel butt works.
So, that was actually the original idea. Like, we really wanted to... It was kind of like, let's troll the internet. And then we took a step back and realized, well, maybe if we trolled the internet, that would be a kind of bad thing for the very first thing we ever showed with Conker.
Someone actually thought it was an actual SMG. It's just a black crossbow.
No, that's just a crossbow. Yeah, we'll show that later.
Some cool effects on it, though. Like shooting cannonballs, some barrels as clips.
Yeah.
Shells.
So like this actually, this like horrible Conker proxy was the start of realizing, like, we have to tease before we can like show everything off, and then it was us realizing we need to make a teaser trailer, and also at the same time we need to make the entire thing in game.
I didn't realize that was hooked up.
Nice, that was hooked up. So that'll be one of the champion abilities. You can get everything to start dancing, and you go around. There's a lot. So this is like pre-assets, though. That's the cool thing. Like any Conker assets, this is like
this
just
taking me back. This wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like forever ago. This is pretty neat.
Yeah.
He still stayed pretty true.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, he's pretty close. I love how the logic cubes come out to like pick up logic cubes. If only that was like how it actually worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the
Oh, it's gotta be good.
Oh yeah, disco ball. So this is a lot more assets now. But yeah. So anyways, that's the start of it all. And now Brad and Claude you guys have to have lunch, because you have like back-to-back meetings the whole rest of the day. So I'll take over. I'll be no longer disembodied voice, and I'm gonna walk through actually how we then went from just that idea of like, let's troll the internet, to actually, okay, let's make a real teaser trailer.
I like how you tease the whole champion here, too.
Yeah, I know. We teased the champion by showing this horrible proxy, goblin scroll up his butt. So, guys, until April 20th... Yeah, no, it's actually pretty good.
It hurt a little bit. It's like, it was terrible.
Yeah, Claude's never coming back to his stream again. Anyways, until April 23rd, you guys can already make Conker games. Just take a goblin, put a scroll up his butt. You got Conker, guys.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'll take over control now.
Have fun.
All right. So we went from there. Basically, we sort of went from this Conker champion, this hilarity, realizing we can't troll the internet, to actually, okay, so let's make a teaser trailer. So what does a teaser trailer entail? So we're going to start by going into We did 68 iterations total on this over the course of 2 weeks. So we kind of came up with a recipe we knew we had to introduce Conker kind of the right way. And so we kind of had a few things we knew we had to hit on with the teaser trailer. And there was, a lot of different things to hit on. A lot of Conker fans, I'm sure there are a lot of Conker fans watching this, they don't know what Project Spark is. So a sort of self-deprecating understanding of what Project Spark is sort of talking about it basically being this creation engine and Conker doesn't really understand it. That was kind of key to it. Also, we knew we had to have fourth wall breaks. We knew we had to have parody, a lot of self-deprecating humor, and then, of course, we had to slip in poo and fart jokes somewhere. Because that's like, Conker is, it's not a mature game. Conker is an immature game. That's
Exactly.
That's kind of the basis of Conker. Like, Conker is so beloved to all of us here at Team Code and like everyone else because it's just this wonderfully immature game, and it knows it's so immature, and it doesn't shy away from that like other games would. It's just like, yeah, let's just make a lot of fart jokes, and you're all gonna laugh at fart jokes because who wouldn't?
It embraces it.
Yeah. So. That's how we got there. We went through a scripting process. That was the very first thing we did, where we had Brad Reeb, we had Henry Sturchy, our creative director, me and a few others kind of all weighing in on what direction we could possibly take. We had a lot of different funny gags. Ultimately, we kind of decided on something that would show off Spark as well, so have kind of a showing of both things. And so once we kind of went through the scripting process, we also got Chris Seaver on board to do the voice for the teaser trailer as well. He was already going to be recording his voice for the whole playable experience, so we were able to slip in extra lines for him to actually do specifically. So we went through kind of iteration one. So the cool thing is, with anybody who's familiar with kind of movies, videos in general, after you do scripting, you kind of do a storyboard process. That's sort of how things tend to work. The nice thing with us is actually we decided instead of doing your standard storyboard process of sort of just drawing out, sketching out what the different shots needed to be and what the beats needed to be, we actually storyboarded the thing in Project Spark first. So I'm going to run you through like the first really, really rough cut.
Yep. Trailer 1.
Yeah, so this was after like 2 days of working to just understand the shots. I did a super rough cut of just understanding, like, we need this, and then this, and then this shot, and then the shot looks like this, and it ended up with something that looks. You'll probably agree with me. Looks pretty terrible. Oops. The worst thing is I had like left and right trigger trigger every single action in the game. So, yeah.
Manually, yeah. I don't know
so
if I've
let's start
even seen
again.
this yet.
Yeah, so it starts. We always had this at the beginning. We kind of knew creating squirrels, and then it accidentally creates Conker. Oops, it was meant to zoom up on him. But anyways, so we have kind of. So the idea is we love this idea of the Spark is just creating squirrels, and then it accidentally creates a much more mature squirrel in the form of Conker. It gets very confused. Conker is also very confused because he has no idea where he is. And so we this is just the shot building, understanding we have kind of this back and forth shot, one over his shoulder, one a close-up of his face. We have the confused Spark right there. So this is kind of pre any emotes or any sort of talking whatsoever. And it's just like the bare bones of nothing happens in these shots. But this was, just important for us to figure out. Like, you have just that horrible, like the horrible movement of like the really robotic movement of the Spark, because this is before we put any care into it. It was just like, okay, so we need it to move here, just have it move there, however, and then we do this one thing. And then, we just go through the different shots. And then we loved the idea of the Spark kind of going around and creating things. So we just, this was just before I did anything. I just had random pop-in props. We love the idea of it creating things and Conker still not being impressed.
like the most impressive shot, Conker doesn't really care about because he doesn't care really about that kind of thing. He cares more about booze and other things like the cock and plucker. So that was actually pretty much the first iteration. That's pretty much it.
There you go.
Yeah, like
that's trailer 1. We should have just, it's perfect. Just stopped right there.
Shipped that.
Go out to the internets. That would have been that'd been great.
Yeah, exactly. So we took those shots. This is before even like we had the cock and plucker falling down. Before we had the enemies just showing the backs of their heads. Before any of that, we just wanted to get like sort of like here's progression of like shot needs to look like this, then the next shot needs to look like that. And so the cool thing about Project Spark is it allows you to kind of storyboard out your ideas. We made this, I said 2 days, but really those 2 days were kind of spent building in my head, here's what the shot progression is, and then like with each shot I kind of spent like 10 minutes building it out and then kind of thinking through how that played through in the scene. So I put together the first shot list, sort of like here's the progression of all these things. Then I got in with it was kind of 3 of us who were making this. So there's myself, Rusty, kind of our technical art lead, and Spencer, our environmental art lead. The 3 of us kind of spearheaded creating this teaser trailer. So we had a lot of iterations, but I think like as soon as I put that together, then Rusty kind of came in and actually started making more dynamic shots. And I think maybe trailer 13 is his first kind of take on it. Yeah, so a few things I'm seeing in chat, a few questions I can help answer. The important thing I've seen a lot of people just say, like generally on the internet, is like, I really want a full Conker game, and that would be super awesome also. I think like anything that happens within Project Spark with Conker is kind of outside of what else might go on, say, with other studios or other projects. But we just knew that we had the opportunity to have kind of Conker come visit Project Spark. And it was this wonderful opportunity, and Rare has been an incredible partner throughout the process. They have looked at sort of everything we've been building. They've been giving us all of the original assets from the games. We have, like, the original music is kind of wonderful to hear in the showcase level, the original Conker music when that's playing during those different shots. It's kind of, like, it filled me with nostalgia. I was, for me, Conker was, all right, so there's, like, 2 games, and this is totally true. There are 2 games for me that, like, stood out the most in my childhood and early late teens. Super Mario 64 for me was like mind-blowing. Yeah. I think for most people that was mind-blowing because like Super Mario 64 is like the first realization of, oh my god, it's this 3D world you can move in. But actually for me, the next one was Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like for me, I was like, oh my god, I can laugh at, like, games can be this funny. And like, I think the funny thing is Conker was this M-rated game, but it was really geared towards those of us who were totally immature and totally into that kind of thing. Like, people like me who would laugh when a rat would blow up and its little tiny skeleton would fart. Like, that was hilarious when its, like, little skeleton would fart. That was, like, those were just amazing things that, like, no other company was really daring to do that kind of thing. And so for me, that actually, like, early on, that and actually Super Mario 64 were like the 2 kind of pinnacles of like, this is like video games. This is like, it can be this this amazing 3D world, and it can also be this hilarious interactive, like, amazing experience. And so those always stood out to me, and that's what we wanted to make sure to get right as we brought Conker into Project Spark. This isn't the, like, end-all be-all of Conker, but we wanted to make sure that anywhere Conker appears, he is fully Conker. That's the most important thing. He's one of my most treasured IPs, and we really wanted to make him great. So that's why we kind of came up with the playable episodic experience, so people can really feel like they're playing kind of bite-sized these awesome, like, constructed Conker games. And then all the Conker assets, we really put a lot of work and effort into making them feel like really just nice. And so this is like the first iteration of like Rusty kind of playing around with it. He came up with the idea of like a freeze frame, sort of like, wait, what did I just see? So like he started coming up with these fun camera techniques that were kind of important in the final construct of the Conker teaser trailer. And so this is pre any emotes as well. The funny thing is, this teaser trailer, we were still finalizing all of the in-game Conker assets, and you'll actually see in the final version of the teaser trailer, we've even there's like certain things we've even kind of like added onto that just assets that weren't ready. So we didn't have a squirrel by this point either. Yeah, and we actually didn't have the cock and plucker sign that wasn't fully ready to show in game yet. So. Anyways, so you got like people got like a like 2-frame look at tiny look at a Teddy's. So that's you guys got like a tiny bit of a tease of that. That's pretty cool. Yep. So anyways, we kind of had the shots lined up, and we wanted to like really start to make them feel good. And so that's when we kind of brought in Spencer, environment artist, and he started kind of arting things up. And so this is. Sort of a lot of the iterations were just making the art better. So we kind of started smoothing things out. This is still sort of before we kind of really fully smooth things out. This funny thing is this was actually this version 26 of the trailer was there was like a bug introduced with terrain that we like later fixed. So that's why the terrain is looking kind of whitish. So there's like as we're building, we're working on all the assets as well that are going in game. So like certain days you might like run to like an internal build bug. So like this was one of those things. But we kind of like from actually really early enough on, like shot number 13, we had the idea, like the general shot list, the general progression, and then from there we just kind of added on top of that. And so let's go
to finished
to the final.
Yep.
Version 68. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're looking at the comments. No squirrel butt. What is that? You mean? Well, Conker was not made with. The final Conker was not made with a goblin with a squirrel up his butt. That was we decided let's make an actual Conker.
Yeah, and his own tail.
So Rare is owned by Microsoft Studios, and Rare and us have had a really key partnership throughout this. We've had close communication throughout this. What we do, I just want to repeat, what we do inside of Project Spark does not mean that Rare can't do anything with Conker, or anyone else can't do anything with Conker. Conker isn't beholden to us. It's more of, so people should actually think about Conker this way. Like, this is our very first IP we're bringing into Project Spark. It's our first, and we hope it's not our last. We want to have Project Spark be sort of like the Super Smash Brothers of game design.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's a pretty powerful idea of, like, iconic characters. You can take them, and you have this easy-to-use tool set to make whatever games you want to with them. But we want to make sure that with every iconic character we bring to Project Spark, we do them justice and we do them right. And so that's why you guys are getting this playable episodic experience with Conker, because we knew that we couldn't just... Conker is like such a... He's such an experiential character that we knew that when we brought him into Project Spark, we needed to kind of build our own experience around Conker. And that's why you're getting Conker's Big Reunion, something that we kind of concepted out, Rare gave the blessing on for us to go along that storyline, and you're getting the first episode that's coming out April 23rd. How long did it take
for Team Dakota to make the assets for Conker?
How long did it take us to make the assets for Conker? That's a really good question.
And then we're working on them a long time. Yeah,
we actually concepted out prior to the E3 trailer, which had the quick Conker reveal. We concepted out a lot of Conker characters. And then sort of since June of last year, we've been concepting and building all these characters and all their props as well. And so, you know, Conkers was one of the first ones we created. By the way, you'll notice I've replaced the teddies with snow derps. We're not ready to give you guys like a full frontal look in detail on the teddies yet. We're saving them as well as other characters for later. So we won't be able to answer any questions sort of like on the teddies, how they fit into everything, how they look. This one's really all about this guy right here.
Yep.
This Conker guy.
Hidden by all the references.
Yeah, and exactly. So someone brought up the fact that, like, you know, thanks for giving us a story. That's exactly our thoughts behind it. Is like we obviously, because it's Project Spark, we wanted to put these assets so anyone can make their own stories. But Conker fans need a story to go along with it. Conker fans need an end. And so I think the story that we create, you guys will really enjoy. It hits on nostalgia, kind of like not many other games really hit on nowadays. Like it's an old school platform in like a next gen engine, which is like insane. It's insane to think about. It's like we said, it's episode 1 is about an hour-long experience, but it's like really tightly packed, and a lot of things happen in the hour, and a lot of parodies, a lot of funny jokes. It's a
lot of content in that hour.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, we knew to do Conker right, you gotta have a fun, playable experience as well, and that's why we're also incredibly excited that Chris Seaver's back with us. Does Conker control like the Xbox and N64 days? I think when you play this episode 1, you'll find that yes, he pretty much does. He controls very much similar to it. He has very much the same game mechanics, which are like, okay, so here's like why Conker and Project Spark fit so well together while we were building the episodic experience. So like another big thing about Conker is you have so many game mechanics that happen in Conker games. Like you have the Saving Private Ryan parody. Mm-hmm. You have like all these other like parodies that are like totally different gameplay types. And Project Spark is it's a game creation engine, and it's this platform that allows all these different game types. So like we were able to explore putting in a bunch of different game type mechanics into this, and that just like felt so right. With it, and so like the more we kind of play around with it, it seems like this weird odd fit for like first IP to bring into Project Spark is Conker, but the more we played around with it, the more it just felt right, and that's kind of why we've been talking about how it just feels so right, and so yeah, it really definitely did. And we're really focusing on episode 1 now. We're not ready to give any sort of release date on episode 2 at all, or where the future lies there. We're just really keenly focused on making sure episode 1 is this great experience for everybody. And all episodes, it'll depend on how long they are, or what they cover. Episode 1 is actually really kind of a setup. I don't want to give away any more info than that. So getting back to the teaser trailer, if anyone here is like, interested in how to make trailers in Project Spark, it's easy. You just set up a bunch of cameras on paths, and then you have, like, as soon as one's done, you switch to another one, and you have certain things happen in there. So let's run you guys through this. I've actually tweaked a few things that are a tiny bit different between this and the final version you all saw. And the episodes will have Chris Seaver's voice in them. So Conker will be voice acted by Chris Seaver. So this is minus the audio portion of it. I think we've turned down the audio as well. But we didn't have the audio in game while we were working on this. You'll notice. So like one thing you might notice is in the background you'll see like sort of the white stuff. That's kind of new assets we added since we actually filmed this that I haven't recolored yet. So like there's actually things that we have added since the teaser trailer was launched. We have the nice Vista shot. So we have Conker talking. We then realized, so like with that shot, let's go in screenshot mode. So the funny thing is, we actually didn't originally have this like farting squirrel. we just had this shot of sort of like Spark coming and Cock and Plucker falling, and then someone said, I think it was like Spencer said, I feel like something needs to be in the foreground. So like,
and then you dropped a couple squirrels, right? And then one time just one randomly like walked in front of it, right?
No, we just I dropped a squirrel and was like, all right, let's just see what happens. And when it fell on top of it, it was pretty hilarious. So we kept it at that. Good question. Is Seaver only voicing Conker? That's going to give too much away if I say anything else. But Seaver is back to for the voice of Conker. That much I can say. So you'll notice the Cock and Plucker sign. We actually in the shot made the whole bar invisible, and then we made it visible again. we got the snow derps looking at him instead of our Teddy's character.
I'm so glad it actually like.
Yeah, I know. It works so well. Then we got his nice little SMG right there. Oh man, this thing's pretty darn cool. And then bam, his shot. Actually, I set up a different scene for kind of the scene that plays in the background while showing like all of the different things. Like we knew we also needed to show the fact that along with the creation pack, everyone knew a creation pack was coming. The fact that this episodic game will be part of this as well, episode 1 of the game, and the date. Those are the two really important parts we wanted to get here. So a funny little thing I still kept in here. So all right, we knew we wanted to have you can't have a Conker trailer without farting, and so I actually I went through a bunch of different iterations of like what farts, what would be the funniest to fart. So I actually still kept it in here, something that I trigger on a button press. But like we actually for a bit we're going to do. I'll wait until we get to the scene. So like Conker's saying like, what can you make in this game? And then or what is this game? Project Spark. That sounds more like a working title in a game. Spark's like, no, it's not. He's like, all right, so what can you do in this game? Spark's like, let me show you this amazing thing. And he makes all that stuff. And then so when Conker says his line, like, where's the shooting and explosions and the poo, then we had this farting fish that was going to, like, jump up. And so we were going to, like, originally have... we were originally going to have, like, where's the poo? And then, like, this just this, like, fish jumps up.
Propelling itself out
yeah,
of the
it just,
water.
like, jumps out of the water and just, like, but then we actually put that in there, and people were like, people didn't notice it because the fish was kind of, like, out of context, and they're like, what was that farting sound? I don't understand that.
Kind of distracting, just this fish.
Yeah, so like, because people didn't understand the fish, so they just heard this like random like farting sound that just came out. So we axed the farting fish and gave the fart to the squirrel. The squirrel needed its own little time because like a key thing of Conker is when things die, they fart. That's just that's how Conker stuff goes. They die. They pretty much when something does something in Conker, it farts. That's sort of like the impetus for Conker. Like it does a thing, and the fart also happens at that same time. So, anyways, we have a bunch of different cameras that we kind of use to do this. We have a total of 15 cameras, so we had 15 cameras that ran through this whole thing, and then we had each of those cameras moved on paths. For those of you who don't know Project Spark that well, we have creation tools known as paths. Let's just jump into... Nope, we can't do that because you can then see all the Conker assets that we're not ready to show. So
let's stay away from the gallery.
Yeah, let's stay away from the gallery so you can't see things and we can't leak anything else besides the teddy face that you accidentally saw. So, anyways, we actually have the cameras moving on paths. For those of you who may have messed around with paths that much, it's actually... Cameras moving on paths are actually a pretty stable thing. You should really play around with paths. If you want to make cool camera shots, paths are your friend in Project Spark. Will I be able to make my own farting fish? You totally will.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
And so much more.
you can totally make your own trailer where you're like, no, the farting fish was hilarious. I want to have my own trailer with the farting fish. Totally do that. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna limit your amount of farts you can do. Okay, can we use connect emotes with Conker? Oh man, yes. Okay, I gotta talk through this. So two of these shots actually were done with connect. Like, the really important thing is every single thing we did here, we built with public-facing tools that all of you can use to build this. That was the most important part of making this trailer. We wanted to make this trailer so anyone else can make the exact same quality of trailer as us. So that meant that some of these Conker shots were actually connect emotes. The very first one when Conker appears, this one, where he's sort of looking around, that was done captured with connect emote. We also have the one where the spark comes in, creates a thing on Conker's hand. That was done with connect emote, where he kind of looks at the spark and then he looks down at the gun and the gun appears. So you can use connect animations to animate your Conker. A very interesting thing, which we ran into with connect animation with Conker. So I can say that for you guys. That's one thing I can confirm for you guys, is the fact that yes, connect animations can be done with Conker. Interesting thing is Conker has a pear-shaped body. So take that into consideration when you're doing your connect animations with the Conker games you're building. He has a pear-shaped body. None of us have pear-shaped bodies. That means his arms need to be like further out than your typical arms are, or else they're going to clip inside of him, because we base it on human skeleton, but he has a very non-human skeleton. So like this, wait for it. So this shot right here, that's the connected animation, like quick one right there. I got those two on the first try. They were first try connect animations. I totally could have spent more time polishing them and making them a bit better. But they worked for what they needed to do. Mm-hmm. Will the trailer be shared when the pack comes out? Interesting question. No answer yet. That's I'll think about it though. We'll definitely think about it. So another thing is with the teaser trailer, one thing we hadn't really finalized is Conker's tail physics when we released the teaser trailer. So you'll notice his tail physics. For those of you, I think like one person actually commented on his tail physics
on the Reddit. Yeah,
and we were like, "Wow, you were really paying attention to his tail physics." So you'll notice his tail physics are a lot more stable right now. Before they was kind of like looping weirdly a bit. Yep. So those were just we fixed those. His tail physics are pretty wonderful. His tail is just this wonderful thing that
mesmerizing.
Yeah, I really like what our engineers are able to do with that. So what was the other point I was gonna make with this? I forget. Conker's cool, guys, though.
That's a good point to make, anyway.
Yeah. Someone brought up in chat, like, some people kind of preferred live and reloaded look of things. We actually, with really everything that we made here with our first pack of the Conker, we actually focused on the Bad Fur Day aesthetics. That was sort of like Bad Fur Days is where we took our artistic inspiration rather than Live and Reloaded. We actually might down the road look at Live and Reloaded. It depends, but we really wanted to capture the aesthetics of Bad Fur Day first, and they both have. If you actually, even though they're the exact same game, Bad Fur Day and Live and Reloaded have very different aesthetics for a lot of characters. Like, a lot of characters are kind of different. I won't go into the minutiae details. Some of them actually might like give subtly give some things away if I do, anyways. But a lot of characters have a lot of differences between those two. So we kind of had to focus on, do we go for one aesthetic or do we go for the other? And we had to start with the nostalgia aesthetic of Bad Fur Day. This was this whole thing. So we had 68 different iterations of this, and it was built over the course of about 2 weeks. So the whole thing with 68 iterations was 2 weeks, and really a lot of those iterations were art passes on things, and like really getting the timing down right. When you're making things that have some jokes, we kept it sort of a bit more bit more subtle on the jokes for this, but like with some jokes, timing is crucial. So like we really work with timing. This thing, the kind of creation effect, was all thanks to our engineer, technical artist lead, Rusty, kind of coming up with the idea of how we actually have things spawn in. So I'm going to quickly run people through that. We have in every single item, we just have it simply add this brain called pop-in brain, and then we set a pop-in order for it, which is equal to a random number. And that random number is basically the amount of frames since that shot starts, the shot of creation, that this thing spawns in. So this is 62 frames later. Project Spark runs at 30 frames per second. So that means basically at 62 frames, which is a tiny bit, smidgen over 2 seconds, this guy will pop in. And then so we have this this pop-in brain right here. And all it simply does is it adds that item to this pop-in objects, makes that item invisible, remembers its scale, and then as soon as we have this pop-in order happen, which looks for basically a countdown timer, it delays of how many frames we wait until we actually pop something in. It creates a Boolean that's true. We call it pop-in Boolean. Booleans can only be true or false. So once this Boolean is true, something happens. So this pop-in Boolean becomes true. And then under the pop-in Boolean, we have, for one frame, it plays this creation effect. Creation effect is a wonderful thing that people should really experiment with. The creation effect will kind of have something feel like it's growing out of the world. It's this cool experience. Then we had it play a sparkle effect on that thing. We made it so it was visible, and then for a fourth of a second, we had the item hologram blue. That's how you have that nice blue pop-in. And then we also set, for certain items, the thing that Rusty did a great job at prototyping is sort of how you'll notice during creation. I know we spend like 1 second on creation, but we spent so much time making that shot feel right. Like that was how so many of these iterations happen. We have like things like slam down and like phase up and then like slide in. And so Rusty kind of came up with that idea of you basically have this like template object here. So like the spaceship slams down. So this template object, you actually have the spaceship way up here, and then it just like you set it to move. You set a move to target this object variable to this target right here. And we'll go back to that brain. And then we just simply set, if it has a move to object, then it moves that object at a super fast speed, 20 times its regular speed, without deceleration. So it just like slams down. That's how you get that. Let's see. Will you guys release a demo for fans to play with Conker before the DLC comes out? Nope. Everything is going to come out on April 23rd. Everything hits on April 23rd. We don't plan to do any sort of demo beforehand. If for those of you who were with us at the beginning of the stream, you probably saw that if you take a goblin and attach a squirrel to its butt, you got Conker. So.
Yeah. And then those in chat asking about price. We haven't announced a price yet. We're still kind of settling on that, but we'll let you know as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're just not ready to give our price. We'll definitely, as soon as we have the announcement to make, we'll announce that. The other thing that we're just not ready to show anything of is the playable experience. Don't worry, you guys will see. You'll see a lot more about the playable experience before we launch that. I know a lot of people are kind of curious about what we did with that playable experience. We're not ready to share any details on that though today. So like this 1 second shot, we spent so much time getting that right.
Work, yeah.
We had a lot of iterations of different things. Like we actually one shot we had like spaceships flying in the background, like this whole like army of spaceships. And we found that just made it a bit too busy. We had like a necromancer, like with like fiery things in his hand, like oh my god, I'm about to fire my necromancer abilities at you. But that was also a bit too much. So. Yeah, I mean, that was actually, like, of all pieces of the teaser trailer, that was the shot that we spent really the most time on and, like, what things kind of fit the best there. How do you create custom characters? So let me demo for you. I'm going to come back into teaser trailer. I don't think we're done with looking at that. Let me demo for you. All right, for those of you who missed it, guys, we have the Conker champion! Oh my god! Yeah, Conker! So, this is sort of like a taste of like sort of like custom characterization. So, alright, we have the goblin here, and he's got a squirrel attached to his kind of back socket.
You can see his head poking out his
Yeah,
armpit
you
there.
can, you can see the bit of the squirrel face. In Project Spark, everything has sockets. And so
perfect.
let's bring in this guy right here. Let's scale him up. So like, and Conker's going to have sockets. Every other character we bring in is going to have sockets. So you'll be able to kind of create your own custom characters even around the characters we have. But you basically have these sockets. So let's like, all right, he's going to have an acorn face. So we'll attach an acorn to his head. And then we'll increase the scale of this. And then this guy he's now called Acorn Head.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. And then I can go like into as specifically as like can actually make it so I can actually replace all of his body parts with like different body parts. So like for instance, like I can replace his arms with these cool little buttresses or whatever they're called, trims, ancient corner trims. And then where is the Conker guy? All right, I want to make him. I just want to power him. Oh wait,
Make him invisible.
no, make his brain non-active.
Oh, okay.
So then what you can do is you kind of attach all these things to this character, and then you can even go in, make them invisible, but all their attachments stay visible. So you kind of use them as like the socket faces. I forgot to give this guy a brain. Let's like jump in our brain gallery. Let's give him a third-person adventurer brain. And then so you have like he's invisible, but his like acorn head isn't, and his little left elbow socket isn't either. So you can see you can build your own custom characters by kind of adding a bunch of props onto it. People made amazing rock golems. People have made like really cool creatures and characters with this. So that's sort of like how you can do your custom characterization. Or we have a full character gallery, which I won't go into because we're in our internal facing gallery, so that means you'll see all the Conker assets. We're not ready to show off really any of the stuff besides the stuff that was in the teaser trailer. Let's go to create. Let's go back to the teaser trailer.
We could just like kind of take a closer look just at the Conker like character.
I don't really
You don't
want
want
to
to do that? No, you don't want to do that.
No, I don't even want
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
No, we're not really ready to show off sort of like all the things that are included with this Conker character. It's a lot more. I mean, we'll give you a close up of him at least. You sort of have like him in game. He's got some, you can at least see him in his idle animations. He's a very rambunctious creature guy. But I'm not ready to show like us playing with him, for instance. We still have a while. Well, not too long. Really, not too long. This is probably why this took people by surprise, because we're only really 4 weeks out from Conker, from shipping Conker, and we kind of had a reason for that. We wanted to like wait until we got all of our kind of ducks in a row, but I want to wait to kind of show off him and kind of all the other things, but. He has a lot of attachments right now. So you'll see these light bulbs. We actually created ping lights that ping on him when the spark is close to him to make it feel like the spark is like right in his face.
Very cool.
And yeah, he's very sleepy right now. I think we need to put him. He needs to take a nap time. So let's see. So like these ping lights, we can kind of power them on and off, and that's how you give that nice like ping light that pings off the sparks emotes from that. So I'm not ready to talk about that. I can talk all about the snow derps.
Yeah, there's another Conker without all the stuff in the way.
Oh yeah, there we go. This guy's invisible though, so it's not the right coloration. I can just quickly go into appearance and turn them on. So like.
There's the cute little
So,
furry guy.
like I said, we were really going for the art style of Bad Fur Day. Live and Reloaded has actually a bit of a different color palette of Conker. He also wears shorts in that. This is his non-shorts version. He has kind of like a bunch of his hair in that one. We really wanted to follow more of his kind of classic look. Like this is the classic Conker rather than sort of like the Live and Reloaded Conker. That's the way to look at it. We didn't want to kind of go for the hairy furry Conker. We want to go for like the classic look of him. So that's why he's got like his famous shoes. He's
the hoodie.
Yeah, he's got like the famous hoodie as well. Yeah, I mean this is like it's very true to the Conker that you guys I grew up with.
Right.
I was gonna make him. I was gonna just take off his sweater because people are like, "How does his fur look?" And so you can see like his fur sculpting. But yeah. So let's see. What other questions did we see? All right. Cool. Yeah, I think people really like, I saw some comments about people, wondering why we didn't go for the Xbox One look of Conker. And we decided early on we really wanted to tackle Bad Fur Day rather than Live and Reloaded. So that's why I can turn off this guy. I'll stop him from yawning so much. He's just like when he's standing around, he just gets really tired.
Oh, they want to see the gun.
All right, I can also show a close up of the gun because you do get a very nice close up on this. The Conker gun, yeah,
the SMG.
Yeah. So like even outside of this, we do have creators for all you Conker fans. We do have creators who don't really who are very much more interested in actually the creation stuff in here. So a lot of creators will love the fact that they get some modern stuff here, which is like this SMG here. Yeah, so this will be cool for people to play around with. Not even just on Conker, but just generally in their games. 2X SMG. Oh yeah, because I have this one right next to this one. Yeah, this was just, I had like, the SMG at the end where it spawns on him, I had some very interesting, we have some very interesting code where we're using sine waves. Rusty did all that. That sine waves are kind of a bit beyond me. So Rusty was like, I made sine waves, and I looked and was like, this looks amazing! I don't know how to do it, but it looks really cool. I think we have that code in this Spark here. This Spark is like the owner of kind of all code. So we have...
Oh, I didn't know that. Dang.
Yeah, he kind of owns all the code in here. So we have, like, it understands the gun is equal to this thing in the world, and then it moves towards the gun position, which is in Conker's hand, and then it creates a death impact, and then it creates that gun. Conker automatically equips the gun, and then this was earlier iterations of it. And then I have kind of the nice effects playing around the gun. And I think what you'll see here is, so like, when it's at the gun position, this is sort of like we use vector rotate to have that spark kind of rotate around its hand. That's how you get that effect. So vector rotate's a pretty powerful thing. A bit more advanced math, definitely, but really powerful once you get to know how to use it.
Yeah.
We're still under ESRB rating for Conker. The only thing I can say is the play experience will not be... well, we are waiting the ESRB rating, but most likely it will not be rated E10, the play experience. But we don't have any ESRB rating yet, so I can't say exactly what it's going to be rated. Let's see. We're not ready to show off any other Conker characters, unfortunately. People, luckily enough, did get a tease of. Just so happened when we played one of the trailers, one of the teddies was yawning and looking back. So people actually got a pretty nice look at one of the teddies.
You have to go back and find that in the video.
Yeah. But no, we're not ready to talk about like any other characters that might be in this first pack. And let's see. Question on like replayability secrets in the game, Conker dollar animations in the game. we're not ready to really talk about anything with the game itself. We will, of course, answer those questions at some point. And we're really not. A lot of people have questions about the game, obviously. Yeah, we're just. You're gonna see more and more come out about the game over the next few weeks. I mean, we're basically in the crunch phase on getting this episodic game ready for you guys. Like, as soon as crazy thing is, we obviously knew that there's super passionate Conker fans because we're all super passionate Conker fans. But when we released that teaser trailer, we had a feeling it would kind of it would hit like sort of big. We had no idea how big it would hit. It's so it's like it's really motivating us to hunker down and pound out even more on this experience. Even though we're 4 weeks out, we have Project Spark set up in such a way where we basically can work on this level until like very close to release of it. So we're spending these extra few weeks on really pounding out as much as we can to make it like a just awesome tight experience for you guys. Let's see. Is there any possibility of getting more than one asset pack in addition to additional episodes? I think the plan right now, as far as I can say, is we're really focused on episode 1 and the content pack that comes with it. And we're really looking at what the feedback is, what the reaction is, what people think about what we're doing with Conker, and we'll kind of take that into advisement as looking at future content packs and looking at when we can do future episodes as well. So it's really kind of we have lots of plans in place, but we're really feedback focused. So we're really looking at what you guys do as soon as we open the floodgates on April 23rd. And someone said they screamed when they saw the Conker trailer. Oh, that's awesome. Oh man, Conker and Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, God, Diddy Kong Racing. Actually, I really like that game, and it's so funny. Like going back, because Conker wasn't voiced by Chris Seaver at the time. He was he had this it was like almost a female sounding voice. It's really funny if you like go back and play Conker and Diddy Kong Racing, and the fact that like they went from that to Conker's Bad Fur Day is just it's an amazing story in itself. Yeah, sorry, I gush over Conker. just like everyone here. Conker's Pocket Tales asset pack. That's pretty funny. Yeah, for people who have read up on the history of Conker, Conker was going to be a very different game until Conker's Bad Fur Day came out. It was going to be a very different game, and then they saw just too many similarities with things like Banjo-Kazooie, and they pivoted and made Conker what everyone knows Conker as. Let's see. You're up here.
I know. Saw that too.
Oh yeah. I think the important thing is speaking directly to the passionate fans. The really important thing about Conker is the fact that there are people so passionate about wanting to make sure that Conker is preserved and his legacy is preserved, and I hope you'll see that what we're doing with him is really true to him. But this also isn't sort of this is the end of Conker, guys. That's not how we've even approached this. This is Conker for us is the first IP in Project Spark, and we want to treat every potential IP we bring into Project Spark with the same deference we give to Conker, because we are. I mean, for instance, just to kind of run you through the list of how we were all connected to Conker. I just have the connection of it being one of my favorite games growing up, but. Henry Sturgey, our creative director, actually gave gameplay feedback input on the original Conker. He was super involved in Rare back in the day. One of our designers was actually a tester on Conker. We have Chris Seaver kind of with his blessing and his voice back as Conker. We have, from the Rare side of things, a lot of original people who worked on Bad Fur Day are still at Rare making wonderful things. and a lot of them have seen it and kind of gave their blessing, and really talked about what Conker meant for them as well. So we have a lot of the original kind of interesting, a lot of interesting crossovers with like original cast and crew who really weighed in on this, just to make sure that we get it right. Whatever happens with Conker outside of this is really up to others, but what we want to do with Conker inside of Project Spark is we really want it to be truthful to the fans, where it doesn't just feel like because we don't have any we don't really want it to ever feel like it's this just tacked on thing to Project Spark, because it's not. It's every single thing that we bring to Project Spark, we want to give it the care so that the fans who come in and experience it really feel like it's being taken care of while it's sort of visiting Project Spark, basically, and that you can kind of get all of these amazing original assets, and you can take the same kind of care of it as you want to. So yeah, that's sort of how we approached it. Can you release those comments as promo material? I don't know what that means. I don't think you want promo material, just me talking to a camera.
No.
That would be pretty funny, right? Can you share Conker news every week until the DLC is released? I can say you can be pretty certain we will. We have so many things and so few weeks until it comes out. Would you consider making a Conker Live and Reloader model and people could select which Conker to play? Not out of the possibilities. That's all I can say. What problems have you encountered while making episode 1? I think actually I'm not the right person to talk with about that. Maybe when we get close to talking more about episode the episode 1 of Conker's Bad Fur Day, we can have more of the team in to talk about sort of like the interesting challenges they found and successes and how they kind of approached it. But I'm not really the one to talk through about that. I think so. We're a tiny bit over.
That was really fast.
I saw at least 2 new paints. How many new will be out April 23rd? May we know that? We're not ready to give you information on that either.
Yeah, this is kind of a tease on all the new assets, as far as paint and biome kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. What we can say, which we've said before, is we're like still kind of on what we like to refer to as like kind of burn down of like getting all the assets into place on Conker, but we're looking at around 200 to 300 total assets. That includes characters, props, effects, icons, sounds, music, the terrain materials, probably a few other things I'm forgetting about, but it encapsulates all of that stuff. So I can say that, but besides the stuff that you've seen in the teaser trailer, I'm not really ready to talk about anything else. And yeah, we're such a tease. This is the tease phase, guys. We're in the full tease phase. It's kind of fun teasing, but we want to do it in a way also where you can like really see like how much deference we're giving to Conker, like how hopefully we've hit it. All right, last question I'll take. What made you guys come up with the decision of including Conker? So I know this from Henry Searchy. He actually kind of when IGN asked him just for when they heard about Conker coming out, they asked Henry to weigh in on a few things, and they asked him that same question. Back to that question. Where we come up with the decision of including Conker? So during a Twitch stream on Project Spark, where Phil Spencer stopped by and actually played on that Twitch stream with the rest of Team Dakota, kind of very soon after the Twitch stream, someone tweeted like, "It'd be amazing to have Conker in Project Spark," and that kind of got the team thinking like, that would be really interesting, and kind of things spun from there. And Rare was brought in really early on, and they Rare and Team Dakota talked through it. They put out a plan of how Conker visiting Project Spark could work out, and then they kind of set that in stone so that he could be announced at E3. And since then, it's just been planning and whatnot. But we just see it as like he's a very interesting, unexpected opportunity and first IP for us to bring into Project Spark. And really, as soon as the word Conker was said and really actually thought about in Project Spark, the team started really diving into him and realizing that, whoa, this has really interesting parallels with us. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that about covers everything, I'd say.
Yeah. So, anyways, you guys have gotten a lot of answers to your questions, I hope. We're hoping that, you really like what we're doing when Conker visits Project Spark, April 23rd. We have a lot more to talk about with you guys and show off to you. So thanks everyone for watching.
And then just to let point out, so next stream is Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, or PST Pacific. I know, I'm forgetting where I am. I'm thinking about where you're from. Anyway, so 3 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to be going over Recon Mission, which is our new content pack that's going to be released this Thursday. So a lot of cool new sci-fi. We've got the Codian drone in there and the space jumpsuit for the Astrotech girl. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. And another quick question to answer. People ask me anything about that. Once Recon Mission comes out this Thursday, it's all you won't have any content packs between that and Conker. Because we are laser focused on Conker, so it'll be ramp up to him. It's gonna be really fun, yeah. So, anyways, we will catch all you guys next Thursday. Stay tuned. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Twitch, wherever, so that you can see some more Conker stuff as it pops up. Because we have a lot more things to talk about Conker related. So, thanks everyone for watching. And if I can find the mouse, there we go.
Yes.
Don't tease us so much.
Create your game as you play? Any Spark can do it. Spark, activate the portals.
Here's the mouse. Please don't screw it up.
They were saying that the viewership was really high.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Wait.
Oh, it's this Justin fan.
Cool. It was probably over 100 for a while. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the highest we've gotten for a while. Please don't screw it up.